Right, now if you bash your boat into something, it will cause damage. Quite quickly too. I haven't actually tested whether or not a boat will sink. But the boat sunk. Oh my word, I've not seen that before. That's the first time I've witnessed that. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Sim Shack, and of course welcome back to me, Sim UK. I hope you're doing well. This is Ships at Sea, a game that I have been very much looking forward to, and I'm sure many of you out there have been looking forward to as well. What we're looking for in this game is more realism, and over the past 2 iterations of this game, I have been very critical of some of the decisions that the developers have made, whilst also still being very positive about the majority of what they had done. Unfortunately, the physics and the sea, the ocean and the weather conditions, that all got dumbed down to accommodate I don't know who, certainly not the sim players, but it looks like they've turned a circle and now we're actually going to see some positivity coming out of them. One thing I will say before I get into this is a massive thank you to Misc Games, because there's a common conception that if you're negative about a game, if you criticize the game for its failings in your eyes, in my eyes, then, you know, a good developer will take that on board and still give you access to the game, early access, like Misc Games have done, even though I have been critical of their game in the past. And I really appreciate that. If nothing else, it shows that they are a trustworthy and reliable company. You know, they will take criticism on board and not just dismiss you if you don't agree with everything they do. And I really appreciate that. It means a lot, and it gives me a lot of faith and confidence in them as the game moves forward. Now, I've been playing this game for a little bit already in early access, and I've got to say there's a lot of good stuff to talk about and there's a lot of bad stuff to talk about. Now, in an early access title, which is what this is, there is an opportunity for all of us to communicate what we want. Let's not let the arcade community dumb this game down like they did the first 2. We want this to be a realistic simulation experience, and the potential for that to happen is more apparent now than it has ever been before. Right, let's go career, and we'll start a new career. We'll do the tutorial and everything. So I'm going to do a little bit. I'm going to start on keyboard and mouse, and then I'll go on to controller. In fact, should I start on controller? Because then maybe I can show you some of the issues with the controller early on. So having just sent my controller flying across the room, we now have a controller. Right. So, straight away, I can't seemingly do anything with the controller. The right thumbstick controls the arrow, which is a horrible way of doing it. Very archaic in my opinion. So we have 2 genders. You may think there are more, but that's it. Just 2. Clothes for each one varies. 4 fishermen, 4 dock workers. That's pretty much it. And then the females, just exactly the same, but with a female face. You can have a hat, or you can have no hats. I'm going to have no hat this time, and I'm going to save that. So let's just take a moment and look at the stunning environment. I wish you could turn these horrible yellow markers off. I've never liked them. I think they're horrible and they totally ruin the game. They ruin the immersion. But I've got to say, this does look fantastic. And the sea, the ocean, although technically very unrealistic for it to be flowing like that in this particular location, it looks great. And when you get the boat out there, it feels great as well. And by the way, this is NVIDIA's, I forget the name of it now, but it's NVIDIA's wave generation tool that they're using, and it's turned off. So this is the minimum amount that it produces, and it's quite impressive. And it also makes me think that we're going to get some extremely big weather given time, which is wonderful. There is supposed to be a sprint button on the controller. Oh, hang on. Does it work now? Oh, it works now. So there must have been a bit of an update because that wasn't working before. So that's good. So sprint button is holding down L3. Now, this is pretty cool. B to pick it up. And you walk to your boat. And you put it in your boat. That really looks like it's floating in the water and it's responding to the waves accordingly. So NVIDIA's wave generation system is exceptionally good. Very impressive. They've changed the release of the game, and I'm not sure if that's based on feedback from early access reviewers like myself, but it's not in the best of states. The potential is clearly there for all to see, but it's not been fully realised yet. The rowing against the waves is obviously much harder than rowing with it. They've really captured that really quite well. You can see how much harder I'm working. The waves are kind of turning the boat, it feels like, as well, which is really cool. I'm having to work extra hard just to try and get to where I'm supposed to be going. No doubt the arcade players will complain about this. I think it's about the right pace. The pace feels fine. It's just the controls are awful. I haven't actually tested whether or not a boat will sink. Okay. So Y now takes you out of the boat. You immediately pick up your goods. Proving very difficult to control where I'm looking. May need to turn that down even more. Okay. There you go. Bosh. Oh, what's the button to put it down now? It used to be B. This worked last week. I tried this. Oh, God. So there could be a lot of this going on. I'm going to have to use the Xbox, the keyboard, I mean. Right, so mission completed on the 1st of April 2024. We delivered 1 box of fish to that place. We get 20,000 kroner for that, which is about 200 quid, I think. Or maybe 20,000. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to have to work that out. So here we go. Here's an example of the kind of bugs we're going to see. See how that hitch there is not actually attached to the dock. There's another one there. The more you see, some of them are, some of them aren't. So this one isn't either, but it's closer. What you can't do is fall off the edge. Even though I'm off the edge, you can't fall in the water. And I think that's quite disappointing. If they added the ability to swim, I think it would do amazing things for this game. It would just propel it so much further forward. Just that simple ability to be able to go down in the water and have to swim. I think that would be incredible. Maybe even the ability to drown. But it is possible, because I have done it, to get yourself in the boat. Maybe not this little rowboat. I didn't do it with the rowboat. But you can see, I mean, how good would it be just to be able to walk on there and sit down instead of having to teleport? I just think they've missed a good opportunity there. You can see how the boat is bobbing around a lot less. And although it doesn't tell us how fast we're going, I think we're travelling quite a bit faster. Going with the waves. Which is great news. And you can go first person when you're in the boat as well. Unfortunately, even though I'm facing that way, I'm still pressing forwards in order to go backwards. So, like an owl, I can rotate my head 360 degrees, which is kind of funny. I mean, it looks fantastic, doesn't it? The modelling, really high quality. The audio's quite nice. Now, did you hear that creaking on the boat? That kind of creaking is the sort of noise you hear on a big boat. Not a little rowboat like this. So, The audio, again, could be better. Over here on the left, though, you can see all of the boats that are on offer. You can see the different sizes of them. And we never could do that before. We never could see our ships that we'd bought alongside us anywhere. The ship upgrade and repair maintenance area is really good for that. You can get a real sense of scale. And obviously rowing alongside them in this little rowboat. It gives you a sense of scale as well. Some of the boats you'll recognise, some of them you won't. There are 7 in total at launch, plus a few more coming later on. The animations are fantastic. I just wish the controls were left and right trigger, because looking like this... Also, instead of it having a 360-degree head like that, I think we should just have a snap head. So if I press right, it just snaps around to that view, and if I let go, it snaps back to this view. That's what I'd like to see. Triggers for the oars and a snap view, so I can just quickly take a look either side at where I'm going and make the necessary adjustment. Quick snap view. Quick snap view. That's all I need. I'm hoping that changes. So I'm in the docking area, but I must be parallel. Again, that's a limitation that shouldn't really exist. Repair a sea marker. Now you've seen this in the tutorial. So now we go to the shop. So in the shop I can buy some stuff, some equipment. So 250 NOK is about 25 quid, I think. So tools, we'll add that and we'll purchase it. We need this and we need this. This is changed as well. So the sea marker is all the way over there. But the physics of this boat, although I'm not entirely convinced it's 100% realistic, it's a lot better than it was. So if I try and get maximum speed up here, if I can get myself going in the direction I want. I just realised you can like sprint and do a fast row as well. I didn't know you could do that. So this is as fast as we can row. And I'm just going to stop and see how far the boat continues floating for. See, that's good that it continues, but I think it still slows down far too quickly. I would have expected the boat in real life to carry on in that direction for quite some time. Right, so it's really nice rowing up to a sea marker and you think, oh, this is kind of cool, you know, I'm having to get real close to it and stuff. I have to press V to go to first person view and then I can climb it and you think, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. But unfortunately, you just teleport right up to the top. You don't have to tie the boat up, you don't have to chuck the anchor off. There's so much that could be done better there, and the animation just to climb up the ladder would add to the immersion immeasurably, but none of that is in the game. Right, so I have to press I to open inventory. I'm just wondering if I could do it. Oh, there we go. So I press right on the D-pad and it brings up the screwdriver for you. So if I can get it on the screw and press B, so that works now. That didn't work last time I played. And we've got audio, which is again another step forward that wasn't there last week. So stuff is being done, it is being improved bit by bit. Okay, so on a side note, here's one little thing that they could do. So you see, if I press up on the D-pad, that calls for assistance if you're in a boat. If you're not in a boat, it should do something else. It's stupid to define a button to something that has additional context. So if pressing up calls for a tow, but only if you're in a boat, then pushing up when you're not in a boat should do a different thing, because we don't all have 10 million buttons. Right, see if I can open the door with this still in my hand. I can. If I grab the fuse and click use... Oh man, I can't get this thing out of my hand. I can't put the drill down. God's sake. Oh, if I press E, it will replace the circuit. Okay. Right, so that's replaced. We need to change the colour to white. Or do we? Oh, I don't need to change the colour this time. I can leave the colour the same. Okay. Mission completed. There we go. We leveled up and we gained a new skill point. So now I can buy a jigger. Let's teleport this time. F to exit the boat. I'll just press Y on the controller. Right. So. Christ almighty. There's so much to show you. It's difficult to keep it all in my head. So this is the jigger. This is a hand jigger. So I press tab, come to the skill tree, and this is kind of cool. You've got general skill tree, you've got infantry, eco driving, friends in high places, crewmates, enlarged boat inventory, personnel safety. You need that before you can hire people, I think. Teamwork makes your teamwork better. Then you've got engineer abilities, basic engineer, basic electrician, faster repairs, skilled oiler, fire safety, because we have fire in this game. Fishing, faster reeling, faster gutting, faster sorter, fresh fish, jigger, that's what we need right now. Long liner, net, fresh bait, and a few more minutes. Then we got the deckhand skills to operate the crane, be a medic, which is quite interesting. The ability to move faster and clean faster. So, let's go jump in our boat. Definitely easier to control using keyboard and mouse, but at some point we will need a controller. So even on keyboard and mouse, you can't press forward and left at the same time and sort of turn diagonally. Doesn't seem to work. The fish habitat is a lot further away than it was before as well. Last time it was just past that dock there, so it basically where we are now. So what you can't do, and I find this quite infuriating, is you cannot throw an anchor off. So I had to go do something in the middle of my fishing process, and when I came back my boat was stranded on the shore, which is how I learnt that that's how you call for support, for assistance rather. What would have been cooler, because I was literally right by the water and the water kept lapping up under the boat, it would have been cooler if I could have just climbed out the boat and pushed it in the water, but none of that kind of thing exists at the moment. So there's some limitations and or area for expansion. Right. Now you can catch 3 fish. The next step is to catch some fish, equip the jigger from the inventory. Be careful when reeling in the fish. If it fights back, the line can break when the line is red. So try to limit the reeling to when there is little resistance. So none of that was explained before. I mean, it was kind of obvious, but none of that was there before. So they've improved that, which is good. So we'll go to inventory, grab the jigger, we'll select use. E to cast, and then so left mouse button to bounce and hold left mouse button to reel. So that's supposed to be bouncing, but obviously it's not, it's just reeling. So you have to reel it all the way down to the bottom of the bottom. That's where the fish are, I assume. Okay, and then you've got this green and red dot. I have no idea what that means. Never figured that out. But it looks like it's bouncing, right? That's not me doing it, it's just doing it itself. So what I did to make it catch, and I think that's what's happening. I think we're just that's us enticing the fish, but I'm not doing it. That's totally the game doing it. So what I did to catch a fish, there you go. Just move it left and right. So it's easier to use the audio. I mean, can you see the colour of that line? It goes red there, but look at it this side. You see what colour it is now? Not quite so easy to see sometimes. So I find the audio is better figuring out when the line is tight. Takes a while. It's not a quick process. But it's kind of cool. I've never done fishing like this before. So I think it's kind of cool that it's in the game. It'd be nice if they had fishing rods. I'd like to see fishing rods added to the game. And some proper fishing mechanics. I mean, that really would be cool. Just the ability to row out in your boat and fish and then sell the fish. I mean, that would be great. I'd love to see that. Nearly lost it then. Oh, you're kidding me. There we go. Return to the port and visit the fishery. So we're going to start rowing, even though we've still got this thing in our hand. We're going to start rowing. So I don't know how you put stuff back in the inventory. Move. It says press Q to stop fishing, but that doesn't work either. I'm kind of stuck with that in my hand at the moment. I can even fish whilst I'm rowing. It's like I'm two people. See what happens. Come on, don't lose this fish. I want to see what it looks like. It's taken a long time to get this fish up. Oh, it's bloody snapped. Ah, oh, gutted. Absolutely gutted. I was really trying to pull that in. I can't seem to get round here. I think the waves are pushing me to the right. Which is great. I mean, I'm glad that that's sort of included in the game. It's just a bit annoying right at this moment in time. You can see the FPS is dipping down to like 22, 16 sometimes. So let's take this opportunity. Let's just go into settings, go to video, and just drop the auto, the quality preset down from ultra to high, and apply that. Let's see how that looks. So I'd say I don't really notice much difference. It still looks pretty good. My FPS is definitely improved. Still can't row in the right direction. Dips down occasionally still, but it jumps back up pretty fast. So it dropped down to 16 again there for a second, even though I've dropped the graphics. So it desperately wants me to dock there. I'm going to just see if I can dock this side instead. Must be parallel to dock. There we go. So that's how I finally got that thing out of my hand anyway. Right, we're in the fishery. We're going to sell 3 out of 3 fish. It was nearly 4, wasn't it? Got 190 knock for that, so we've got 49,770 knock. And 62, whatever those 62 are. Please note, fish prices are increased by 50% during this tutorial. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to be buying bait. I'm supposed to be buying... What am I supposed to be buying? Sell all fish. I have sold all the fish. Oh, there's an extra cod there. That's why. Okay. Right, to purchase the boat, you need to visit the shipyard. This is cool. This is very cool. I'm so glad they've done this. This is like above and beyond expectations, this bit. So this is our little boat. Just the fact that you can look around and interact with it, and ships will get damaged and ships will get dirty, and over time you can fix it. You can see the problem with lighting is evident pretty much all over the game. Probably one of the worst things in the game is the lighting. Just so broken. Little washer here, you can pick this up, you can turn it on. Kills my FPS apparently. On my other PC it didn't make any difference, but on this system it does. But yeah, look at that. Pretty groovy. So I like that, that's really positive. Now, you can switch boats, and here you've got vessel details. You can change the font on it. So, let's call this the... Rowsim 1. You can have it in a few different languages. Now, this was really broken last week. It looks like possibly they fixed it. No, I can still see the same problem. So this is like... part of the font has been recreated and placed underneath, so it's kind of it only happens on some of the fonts, but it's pretty awful. It's probably more evident there. Do you see how you just see the tops of part of the font? Rowsim 1, I like that. What colour should we have her? We'll go Aras red. Bosh, done. So you can sell the boat, but we get nothing for it because it's worth nothing. And then you got the maintenance. So if you bang into stuff, it does do damage rather quickly. And not in this boat so much, but in the next boat you'll see it's quite easy to do damage. And I don't think they sink still. I still don't think they sink, which is quite disappointing. So if we come up here to boats, you can see that we've got quite a few for sale. This filter here doesn't seem to work. But the only one we can afford is this one, the Roster, which is a cargo boat, you'll notice. Cargo boat. Quite a few to pick from. That's a service boat. Service boat, so it's not all about fishing anymore. That one's a fishing boat. That one's a fishing boat. That one's a cargo boat. We're going to grab our first cargo boat. Hold to buy. Mission completed. So, we've got all the information here. What should we call this? We'll call this the... And you can see the effects on the windscreen and stuff there. I don't know why it's doing that inside this building. It didn't do that last week. So that's another bug they've introduced. And I think that's what early access is going to be like. That was pretty good to me. Sim Cargo 1. There's not many spaces there. You can sort of increase that, I guess. I think if they're going to do this, they really need to add a lot more adjustment, you know, tweaking capabilities so you can move it around and place it where you want, put it on an angle, all that sort of stuff. We can sell the boat for 35,000, so a loss of 10,000. There are upgrades that we can have. So you've got the internal fuel tank, you've got the engine, you've got the propeller. I love all this. This is super cool. Looks great in here, but you'll see how much I hate this in a minute. Steering for the cockpit. the throttle cockpit upgrades, the lighting upgrades, all good. You can change the rigging. You can have an external fuel tank so that you can travel further. You can have a small smolt tank, which allows you to store juvenile fish so that you can transport them. And then we got maintenance again, but we're ship shape apparently. Now what's kind of cool is how we can actually go and have a look around our boat. And like I say, why there are water effects on it now, I don't know. It wasn't doing that last week, so they've introduced a new bug. See, there's a boat nearly sinking. Look, bloody hell. Wasn't doing that last week either. So it's kind of got itself caught on the front of the dock. Do you see that? Now, because of that, I don't think I can show you what I was going to show you. And they may have nerfed it and stopped it from happening. I don't know. So if I jump on the boat, you can see that I teleport onto the boat, which I hate. But we used to be able to open the cabin door and walk into the cockpit. Well, now that's also teleported, which I hate. I'm not happy with that at all. I'll press T to undock. And we're taking damage because I'm stuck on the port. There we go, we're off now. So I'm going to get back into position and dock. The speed controls on the boats are awful. Absolutely awful. It's all teleportation. I'm hoping this is just a placeholder. Right, now look at this. If I can do it. There you go. How much better is that? Oh, I can't do it right now. There we go. Look. And you can get in the boat. You can do it. I've done it. I've done it before. Oh, so close to getting in this damn boat. But isn't that better? How much better is that? Would you rather teleport? Or would you rather climb on the side of the boat? It's difficult to do sometimes. Which of those two things is more immersive? What would you rather it do? Oh, damn, I can't get on there now. There we go. And I have done it where I've actually got in the boat and on the boat. Do you see how they've deliberately done it so that you can't do this at the moment, which is just infuriating. It's a bit of lazy development right there, and they need to, I mean, you might think it crazy, but I think they need to prioritize this, because the whole teleportation system is A, a cop-out, and B, bloody horrible to look at. I hate it. I don't think I can get on the boat today, but I have done it in the past. I've managed to get on the boat this way and take it off and set sail. Maybe I can get on the back here if it drops low enough. Yeah, there you go. And getting off the boat that way as well. Isn't that so much nicer? So much nicer to do it that way. So much more immersive to get on the boat this way than it is teleporting. And then that teleportation there is so unnecessary and so unwanted. It's... I can't even begin to tell you. Right, boat's undocked. Where am I meant to be going? These effects are totally unnecessary. I don't know why it's behaving like this. It wasn't doing this last week. Hang on. Am I supposed to be taking a mission of some sort? So the steering of boats and the control of boats, not good. Really, really, really not good. If I go to external, so arcadey. It's worse than it was before. So I've docked the boat. Oh my god, did you see what happened there? So the boat sunk. That was the amount of damage we were taking just trying to get off that dock there. Oh my word, I've not seen that before. That's the first time I've witnessed that. So let me come in here and have a look. So it's destroyed my boat. I've lost my boat. Wow. Okay, now that totally and utterly screws me up. That totally and utterly screws me up, because there's no way now I can get that boat back, and I need that boat to do the next mission. So I'm right in sticky doodahs right now. So these are the jobs that you can take, and I'll accept the mission. We're stuck to having our little rowboat again. Where's my destination? Massive area though to fish in. Look at this. Loads and loads of shallows and stuff. That's going to be really interesting to navigate all that area. I just hope they do something with the physics, because they're, well, the controls of the boats, awful, absolutely awful. So if you've never been to Norway, Norway is beautiful, absolutely stunning, and the houses all along the fjords are pretty much like this, you know, with a little bit of a dock and just a little bit of land that they found that's flat enough to build on, or they've converted to be flat enough to build on, and then they just plonk a house on it, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It really is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And the people there are so friendly and so nice and so calm. Really nice. Love Norway. You can see again, those dockable items are not attached to the actual dock itself, which is silly. I mean, what a silly bug that is. A very silly bug. Right. So let's drop this off. So we got 15,000 kroner for that. So we're back up to 20,000. I mean, the payment scheme in this is perhaps ridiculous. I don't know what you think. But, hopefully it won't take too long before we get our boat again. But that's the first time I've sunk a boat, so I'm quite glad that you can sink boats. Because, you know, previously you could, you know, treat a boat as badly as you like and there was no consequences to it. But now it appears that there are. So that's good. I like that. Wow, I'm getting airborne on some of these. Yeah, the sea is definitely turning my boat. That's really cool to see. That makes such a huge difference over the last couple of games, where the ocean just felt like nothing. I think they still need to work on the physics because they're not right. Boats slow down far too quickly. And actually, truth be told, I think they get damaged too quickly as well. You slam into the side of a dock at maximum speed, then yes, I expect maximum damage, or maybe even damage that continues to progress. So maybe it shouldn't be a damage meter, maybe it should be a sinking meter or something like that. So if you crash into the dock at high speed, you're going to put a hole in the boat, and then the boat is going to fill up with water. And depending on how hard you hit it and how much damage it did, that's how quickly your boat is going to sink. That's what I think. Deliver medicine. So I think this restricts you from being able... Oh, whale watching. I want to do that. This restricts you from doing things that your boat isn't capable of doing. So you won't be able to take a job that you can't physically do. And I'm not sure if you can take more than one job at once. So obviously that little box on the boat we had before, I could do that same mission 10 times over. So I'm hoping that you can take more than one mission at a time. Where are we heading? What? I can't row that far. Oh my god, it's going to take me forever and a day. So I can't go through there because there's land apparently. I don't see any land there. I think you're wrong, game, but whatever. So I don't know if fast travel is something that exists anymore in the game, but could really do with it right now. I don't think it's there, is it? Ridiculous. At least I'll be able to fast travel back. Right, well, we'll have a good idea then of how well this boat can cope in the open water. Getting pretty wavy out here, and this is with it turned off. Bear that in mind. At the moment, the wind and the wave generating system is turned off. So imagine how big these waves could potentially get. We're going with the waves now, so this should be a little bit quicker if nothing else. Bet nobody else is doing this mission on a little rowboat. Oh, my little lantern's turned on now, look. We have no control over the lantern, sadly. It's not very dark, considering it's meant to be night time. I suppose 7 o'clock at night. It's not quite night time, is it? Oh, I do see some rocky shale stuff there. So maybe that's what the light... It's like a gravel almost. Interesting. Going to be a lot more tricky navigating this area. My marker goes off that way somewhere. Found a bit of a shortcut. So according to the map, that shaly stuff sticks out really far here. And if I'm not careful, we're going to end up on it. Three kilometers to go. This is going to take ages. But it looks like we're coming out of the shallows and into the deep sea. So let's see what happens with this little boat. So I'm hoping boat insurance is something that still exists in this game. I highly recommend you invest in boat insurance. Seems very, very quick and very easy to lose a boat. Still 3 kilometers away. Oh my word. Let's switch to controller, it's going to hurt my hand less. I think what we've proved there is that the map is not an accurate indication of where there is / isn't an available route. You should only pay loose attention to it. And the map is not representational of the ship that you're currently on. Less than 1 kilometre to go. That might even be it over there, that little hut. I would expect to get paid well for this, I tell you what. Steering is just awful in this. Should we check what the lighting is like from above at night? Arguably better. Here we go, finally arriving. God, I don't think you can damage this little boat. You may have a problem here. This boat type cannot dock at this location. How ridiculous. So we've just rowed all the way here to deliver this box of tools. And the game is going to restrict us from doing it. That's so dumb. That's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. There is nothing stopping me from docking at this location. If you could get out of the boat properly, I could just tie up to the edge there and climb out on the rocks. It's not going to let me do it, is it? I've just sailed all this way or rowed all this way for absolutely nothing. There's steps there, there's ladders there. Why can't I dock this side? And climb up. You can see we're clipping through the rocks there. There's a ladder right there. Really dumb. I'm really disappointed. That's a real problem in this game. What's the point in putting a rowboat in a game if you're just going to limit what you can do with it? So angry. Can't get out the boat. I'm so angry. I suppose, arguably, if I could find a docking point somewhere else around the island, I might be able to get over there, but I wouldn't put money on it. How stupid. I'm going to wrap this little episode up here because I'm going to have to go back and think of a way around this. How annoying. How unbelievably annoying. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye for now.